411, the 411, we're doing the glutes. It's because his butt's out. I'm stuttering. I don't know what to do. I'm getting all flustered. All right, we have Dan, we have his butt. We are going to be working with his butt, and it's attached to Dan, so we have to be friendly to Dan as well. We're going to be needling the glute max, the glute med, the glute min, and maybe the piriformis. Now, is there anything you need to know? Yes, we're going to be needing to use big weaponry again, 100 mil, 75 mil needles. Who will you need to use those on? Depends on the size of the butt. The bigger the bum, the bigger the needle. These, strangely, tend to leave like little pimple marks as well, just so you know, especially on ladies. The histamine response, it can leave pimples. So just tell the client when you're needling their bum, there is a chance that they'll leave a little red mark. If it turns into a pimple, turns into a pimple, but there's nothing we can do about it. What do we use this for? It's fantastic for tailbone pain. Oh my God, it's amazing for tailbone pain. It's also awesome if there's any kind of tension-related issue in the glute or low back pain problem. Any type of, you know, rim-associated pain where you're getting the pain in through the pelvic rim, it's fantastic. It's also good for referred pain like piriformis syndrome, anything going down the leg related to the sciatic nerve. So that's all that we use it for, but let's get into the nuts and bolts as to how to do it. So we've got the glute. It's a beautiful muscle. It's round, it's rambunctious, and it's well shaped. We've got the glute med trigger points that are mostly up the top of the rim. We've got the glute max trigger points that are like, when you think max, think climbing to the top of the mountain, it's right at the top. And then we've got the piriformis, which is kind of, it's got two, mate. Relax, Dan. Thank you. He was tension, he was tight on camera. He's trying to make his rambunctious thing look even tighter. So it's right in the middle, the piriformis, and through here, okay? So that's where the piriformis is. We've got the glute max. Think top of the pyramid, so we're talking right in through here and right up through here. And then we've got medius, which is just up through the pelvic rim. Then we've got glute min, much more lateral, okay? So that's what we're going to be doing. And without further ado, I'll introduce you to Mr. Samurai here. We're going to be using this one just because I'd like to show you how little tips, little tricks on how to manipulate the needle. So let's go for the max. Trying to find, that kind of feels like it. How's that feel, Mr. D? Feels quite good. It's an enormous guide tube, so they're always good when they're lying face down when you're using it. Now you can see the distance between my hand on the actual head and the skin is long. So what will happen is it will bend like this, right? Which is not what you want. So you separate the skin to try to create some easier, you know, entry for the needle, and that is a great way to make it happen. We have gone in with that needle, and then we just go hunting for rabbits again. There we go, and I just got it, and now that is jumping all over the place. He's having a giggle, everybody's happy. That's the glute max done. Now we're going to be coming a little bit more medially to do the piriformis. So it's kind of coming like base of the butt crack, shift down about an inch, I guess, but you'll just find it and you will know. Now I'm going to be using a 75 here because I'm not actually going to probably be hitting Dan's piriformis. I'm just going to be showing you where it is. Dan hasn't got an issue with his piriformis. I don't really want to give him one or cause any kind of aching into his leg. So we're needling that down towards kind of the, you know, where the tailbone comes down into the pelvis. We're going to be hitting that trigger point. And I feel a lot of resistance already in that. Dan, how do you feel that, mate? Yeah. Fair bit of resistance in there. I'm not hitting any big trigger points. Often with the piriformis, it is just resistance and referred pain that you get, not a real bouncing trigger point like we're getting out of that glute max, right? So then there's another glute max trigger point that's a little bit further over. So again, thinking apex, that's your primary one. Then we can shift further over and down, okay? So we shift over, kind of like right in the center of that butt, and then down. We're going to just give it a quick wipe and in. This trigger point here is fantastic for tailbone pain, as is this one a little bit further down. We're going to elicit quite a good jump out of this, I'm feeling, because of his previous history of jumping with that last trigger point. And I stand corrected as I usually do in life, and I didn't get much out of that one. So then we're going to go on to the Glute medius. Going to be coming up to the rim. Now I'm leaving those in. Sometimes it's really uncomfortable to be leaving needles and going hunting for other spots. But I don't care so much right now. Dan's happy. He's laughing. So we come up to the rim. We're going in towards the belly of the muscles. And we're going to be inserting that. I'm getting some resistance now. There we go. And a big old jump on that glute medius. Now with one more needle, now I'm out of 75, so I'm going to have to use every ounce of my directive ability to be able to use this 100 in that capacity, but we're going to be coming in using, so this is another glute med. Separate the skin, and I already got that trigger point, and we're in. Okay, and I could leave those 5 there for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, coming back every so often and just giving them a little jiggle just to let Dan know that we love him, to make those trigger points jump around until you've exhausted them. They will feel kind of a dead dull ache afterwards, but with any of those syndromes that we were talking about before, it is fantastic for, and I encourage you to try it, but make sure that they're adequately draped. Don't treat it so flippantly like I have with any of your clients. Make sure they feel comfortable and secure and that they are well cared for. Thanks guys, that's the 411 on Needling the Glutes.